Live on stage.
The sound
of Orlando.
So, is they ready?
Yes.
The sound
of Orlando.
You know.
What's going on, party people? What is going on? You are now listening to the Sound of Orlando show with your boy Rome, live and direct in the heart of Orlando. Shout out to my sponsor of tonight, that is 5-Star Graphics. If you need any graphics in town, shirts, whatnot, hit up my man Jesse Jazz, the legendary DJ, promoter, and graphic designer in the city. 5-Star Graphics. Hit my man up. Yo, it's so awesome to come on tonight, man, because we're talking about this thing of ours called hip-hop culture. We have Shyhiem Rugged coming on tonight. We have DJ Nasty coming on tonight. It's double booked, and we're going to make it work. We're going to make it run. We're going to make it do what it do tonight, man. So shout out to all my people that tune into the show on a regular to listen to this thing of ours when we're talking about our city. Now, before we get into our next guest, I just want to say, hey, man, everybody is going through something right now, man. There is a number to call. There is friends nearby. There are strangers nearby, man. If you're going through any kind of depression, addiction, or any kind of thing that can make you feel like you're isolated and nobody gets you, there's places that you could call. There are people that you could call. There are people that you can reach out. Reach out to me. You are not alone. I know it's rough in this world right now, man, and we're all going through it in one way or another, man, but do not let that define you. Mistakes are part of the success. Failures are part of the success. We're all people striving to build empires, not only within us, but for others. And not every endeavor or path that you may follow will result in the successes that you may feel you deserve or feel that you're entitled to. We are all a work in progress, if you will. So all my peoples out there, man, do not let this world get to you, because if you allow it, it will beat not only the love out of you, it will beat the gifts out of you. It will tell you you're insignificant. And that shit is a lie. The devil is a lie. Do not allow people to define you based on your mistakes. Your mistakes aren't you, and your failures aren't you. It's a part of the story. It's a part of the sound. And this sound that we're talking about is the sound of Orlando, man. So, man, please believe me. If you need to reach out to anybody, man, I'm always here to talk to, man. You see me on the streets, holler at your boy if you need someone to talk to. We might not have the solutions. We might not have the quick fixes, but at least you could be heard. Part of some of the most difficult things sometimes is not only the messenger when you're delivering that message, but sometimes it's the receiver. Sometimes we receive things in such convoluted ways, man, where we ain't allowing ourselves to really be that conduit between somebody being able to just have somebody to listen to what's going on in their lives. Maybe they can't offer the solution. Maybe all they wanted was somebody to care enough to just listen, man. So shout out to all of y'all, man. We love y'all, man. It's not easy going through whatever the hell y'all going through. We know that. The Bible says, the Quran says, the Torah says, judge not. We shouldn't be judging each other left and right like this, man. Everybody's story is compelling, and nobody would go watch a movie if everything they did was right. So, like I said, bro, shout out to all my people going through something right now. You got people out here, man. Do not be afraid to reach out, man. Maybe sometimes all a person needs to hear is that they're loved. Okay? So prayers go out to DMX, man. He is someone struggling right now to live, and prayers go out to him and his family and anyone else, man, that's going through something right now, bro. please believe me, you're not too good to call somebody. Believe that. Call somebody, reach out, just let us hear you, bro. Welcome to the Sound of Orlando show. Now, I am your boy Rome, and every time I can get an opportunity to talk to real contributors to this thing of ours called hip hop, um, I'm always giddy about that, man, because that story is so dope. That story is so, I mean, it's everything. And this next guest we got coming on tonight, man, he represents that entire story. Like a lot of people, he started out young, but for his story, he was out in the forefront, young as hell, doing what he was doing lyrically. Like he was better than a lot of older people. Like he wasn't messing around. His tutelage came from some real dope environments. Staten Island, shout out to you, man. All my people's from Staten Island. You know, a lot of times I compare our city to Staten Island because we are the borough that sometimes is not heard and what I feel is deserving of, man, because you know, for all the things that came out of Staten Island, Force MDs, you know, I mean, Wu-Tang Clan, you name it. I mean, it's the legacy will live on and on. This next guest I got coming on, man, was a part of that whole movement, that Wu-Tang Clan, that whole vibration, man. And he's still lyrically untouchable. He's still doing his thing. He's got a new project out, man, and we love to support what he's doing right here, man. And before we even got on, he was talking about Apopka, Pine Hills, man. Yo, I'm so happy to bring this brother on tonight, man. Give it up one time for the legendary Shyhiem. Let's go. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Yo, what's up?
Man,
Yo, what's happening?
What's good, my brother, man? Welcome to Orlando. I know you've been here, like I said, man. You was talking about that APK and that damn Pine Hills, that Crime Hills. You already know, man.
Yeah. Got to shout out my boy Preacher. Got to shout out DJ Des. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Orlando.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wow.
Man, that's so dope, man. That we're all kind of interconnected that way, man. Like, you know, a lot of times, you know, being in Orlando makes you feel like you're in a Cleveland or makes you feel like you're in St. Louis sometimes. But, you know, we got so many people that have come through here, developed relationships, have made dope ass music, have been inspired to make changes. And you're one of those guys, man. That's just awesome that you know about the hills like that and you know about that APK. Shout out to all my peoples in Crime Hills.
Yes.
Shout out to all my peoples in Apopka.
And all that, but this light, you know, I had to get that light that we had to set up because it was kind of dark in here. That's why I had to put the joints on. That shit is blazing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want people be saying, "Oh, he just on in the house with his sunglasses on." You know what I'm saying?
No, you good, bro. You good, homie. You good. Welcome to the show, brother. Before we get into what you're doing right now, what you're currently doing, let's take it back to the past, man, and talk about what were some of the things that got you in it, growing up in that environment, and what were some of your inspirations? What made you feel like, okay, MCing, you know, is what I want to do. I got a story to tell. I got my voice, and everybody's going to tune into that. What brought you to that space in your life?
Well, I wouldn't, you know, first and foremost, you know, when we doing this thing, when I was doing it at that age, you know, I know it was something I wanted to do, you know, and did I think it would really happen? Probably not, you know what I'm saying? But what influenced me was, you know, the Big Daddy Kanes, you know what I'm saying? LL Cool J, Run DMC, Slick Rick, then that's the famous MCs, and then around my way you had Prince Rakeem, you had Pop the Brown Hornet, you had
Shout
Raekwon,
out to Pop.
you know,
Yes.
you KD the Download Record, you know, the whole clan and everybody's, and Now Born Click, you know, just different groups from Staten Island locally. Some of them you heard of, some of them you may not have. King Just, but you know, some of them. But we all was like just a small knit borough. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I have to say everyone contributed to inspiring me. You know, and
Dope.
when I started to write, what inspired my content was I was dealing with a lot of things. Like my dad was in prison, my mom was struggling addict, my family was in and out of jail. Like, that was really my story. So I was like shy and I didn't like to talk about it. But it's like when I put it in a rhyme, it's like I was cheered and that feeling felt good expressing the things I'm going through in my life, and people are cheering for me about that, and that helped me get through it a lot of
Right. That's dope, man. That is so dope, man. Because when you hear about these stories, especially right now, and you hear this revisionist history that people tend to put on things. When you're talking about that story and all of the things that are involved in that, it actually puts a real life perspective to it. That those were the things that were in your life. They could be viewed as curses, but those were blessings in your life. Those were lessons.
yeah, because the blessing is in the lesson. So
Right.
it was things to learn. It was learning, you know what I'm saying, and learning and learning myself and learning who I'm supposed to be. Um, and we all fall and we all get back up and fall again, get back up. Every day it's like that, you know. So I just try to maximize the moment and enjoy each moment.
Right. You know how hard it is for people not only to publicly speak, um, to voice their emotions, their story, and to not only music, but maybe even just telling their story. You hear it all the time where people just have difficulties in even describing what it is they've gone through. That's what makes the MC so powerful, because given a real MC, they're able to describe those things and they become the voice of others that they would never even think that they would be the voice of. Like they thought they was just doing it for them, it was therapy for them, but they wind up being the voice and therapy for other people. How was that like for you as an MC growing up in places like New York City to have similarly that sophistication, that tutelage, if you will, to be able to put down what you're trying to say in a real way so people can feel it?
Well, one thing for one thing, I would say I read a lot, so being able to read and do so a lot, um, words, words and description and things like that is just like something that I'm saying that I love, and that's what I love about reading. So I just apply that to my writing, and it's basically adult basic education. Reading and understanding words and comprehension of words and empathy. You must have empathy. You must look outside of a subject. So when I write a song and I'm thinking about the song, I have to, even though it's so close to me, I have to put it on the table and examine it and look at it. You know what I mean? That way I can hit all angles from it. You know what I mean? Because with any situation, everybody's going to feel different about the situation. So you have to
Right.
kind of like cover all bases. Like one person might be like, yo, that juice is nasty. The other person like, it's good. One might be like, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? So, but is anybody wrong? No. So you just got to figure out, what I'm saying, the balance and try to find balance in it all.
What was that like? And like I said, I'm not only the host of the show, a DJ who grew up on what you was doing, and also a fan of the energy. Because I believe in this thing of ours that not only does it define greatness, but it takes courage to be great. It's not necessarily a road that's traveled by everyone. It requires, so many things to go the way it's supposed to. Sometimes those things are out of your hands, um, but it requires a certain courage to step forth and just go where you're supposed to go. Talk about what that was like to be on a record, and I'm talking about this classic record, one of my favorite records, Show and Prove, and come to that step in your life where you're on a track with someone literally passing the torch because their time was up, which was Big Daddy Kane at that time. He was passing the torch to the young kids, to the kids, and to be on a track with the likes of a Big Daddy Kane and the newcomers, the ODBs and Sauce Money, and what was that? Walk us through how you got to that point, and when did you feel that, oh shit, it's serious now? Like, when did you get to that point?
I don't think I ever got to that point.
Oh, dope.
I think I got to that point when I was getting sentenced and sent to state prison. I said, yeah, this shit just got real. Yeah, I mean, this thing is real. I mean, but as far as music go, Kane was one of my idols. I had the pleasure of meeting Kane, you know what I'm saying? And I'm honored that he seen something in me that he decided to, take me along the ride and give me the jewels and talk to me and show me and, what I'm saying, take me on tour with him and let me be on his albums. And, because, that doesn't happen every day for a kid from Stapleton. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel blessed and I'm grateful that, what I'm saying, that, that I was given those gifts to be able to rub elbows and be part of.
And that mentorship, right? And that being mentored, being given jewels. I mean, we live in such a weird time right now where the OGs are not looked at the way they were looked at back then.
I was blessed, man. I had, Big Daddy Kane, the RZA, RNS, Robin Townsend, Fred Williamson, LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? Those people was really influential in my life, you know what I'm saying, for a point. You know what I'm saying? Because then I got on my, teenage shit, trying to figure life out, thinking I know what's best, and and I made a bunch of terrible mistakes, which turned out to be for the better, not for the better, but yeah, for the better, because now I know, you know what I'm saying, I've walked both walks, you know what I'm saying, I've walked red carpets and and big movie premieres, being in movies, being on television, having hit records, traveling the world, you know what I mean, to being in prison, doing hard time, you know what I'm saying, abusing drugs, having an addiction to, PCP and all that, just all of it in bunch, you know what I'm saying? Just the streets, running around with guns, doing this, doing that, thinking that I was really getting away with something. But, I had both sides, what they would say, best of both worlds, right?
Right. And I love what you're talking about right there, man, because part of this show is to really tell the story as it should be told.
Yeah, so
you're telling that story.
So as I learn, and we all go through it. I know people from my generation has, what I'm saying, I grew up in the 90s. Most of us, was listening to Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, drinking 40, smoking blunts. We Capone and Noriega. was a different time then, and a lot of us made mistakes that we trying to get our life right now. And I think that's what a lot of people resonate with me and my story because they was going through it too, you know what I'm saying? And just figuring things out and learning life. And, we always knew what was right for wrong, but it's just something that's hard headed that we gotta, touch the fire.
Right. What was, let's touch on that for a minute. Let's explore that real quick. Because you're speaking truth to power during a time where the world is listening right now, because we're all going through it. We're all kind of, whether you're fighting for a job or whether you lost people because of COVID, we see our people getting killed live on TV, once, twice a week. These things become normal to us. We become numb to it. But I want you to talk about those things in which you were caught up in the beast for a little while. Talk about some of those things because you say you learned. Talk about some of the things that you've seen that not only should none of us necessarily have to see in that way, but should know it so that we can avoid it, if you will.
It had nothing to really do with what I seen because that type of stuff didn't really move me. You know, seeing someone get stabbed or beat up real bad, or even shot or things like that. That type of stuff didn't really move me or scare me. So it wasn't that with prison. What was scary for me about prison? What was scary about prison for me was that I had all this time to deal with myself. And when I had to deal with myself in reality, you see all your mistakes, man, and you see what you could have did better, and then you're around people that might not be so lucky to get another shot, so it kind of just changes. Well, for me, it changed in my thought pattern, and I'm like, you know what? Right is right and wrong is wrong.
Can you give people in our city perspective of how you got to that space, how you got to that place? What were some of the things that brought you to that prison life when you were growing up? For those that just landed on the planet Earth, because right now, straight up, there's a lot of people that were born in like 2000 or 2010. They have no fucking clue for what that 90s was like. They don't have no clue. It was a different world. We didn't have all this technology. We didn't have, we were kind of limited to our blocks. The airplane was really the cell phone. If you could travel, if you could get out, you could see the world and expand your mind. But for a lot of people, that wasn't the reality. The reality was they were around what they were around, and you were exposed to whatever the hell was around your town. Give people perspective on you being a rising star in the industry. And you're not the only one. There was a lot of rising stars that were young and were coming into that next that that were part of that next wave, if you will. And then they met the world in that regard. Just give people perspective on that. Like what led to that space?
Poor decision making. You know what I mean? I can't say nothing else about it besides it being poor decision making on my behalf. You know what I mean? And when you're dealing with popularity, money, women, drugs, hip hop,
right,
haters, all this going on. Sometimes you can lose yourself. I lost myself. I didn't even know at some point what I really wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? I would be with women just for the fact of being with a woman. It wasn't really that I even liked her or took the time to be. It's just like it was just like a revolving door. Every day was the same, you know. And I remember that when it finally stopped, when I was in prison, I got in the cell that night, and I just took a deep breath, and I was just like, yo, I was really just tired. You know what I mean? And I needed some relaxation. And after that whole ordeal, what I finally figured out, and I was running around chasing everything. I was chasing money. I'm chasing music. I'm chasing attention. I'm chasing everything, right? And that's what I put my values on. So, but what I found out that I love the most out of everything in the whole world is a peace of mind, is my peace of quiet, right? And that's the most valuable thing to me is my peace. No amount of money is worth it, nothing. And the only thing, and I can only give it to myself. And that's the beautiful part.
Man, that's so
Nothing with
dope.
I didn't have to look outside of myself for what I want. And once that became my model, everything that I ever dreamt of has been happening for me, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying that I was blessed with the understanding, with the knowledge and the understanding to know where I'm at and the space that I'm at. So man, if it means I could be reading a book, right? One of even my favorite book, I read some books 3 or 4 times. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm just doing that and someone calls about something, maybe a show, I don't know, but it has to be really something really, really, really that's going to say, okay, I'm going to put my book down and go. And most of the time I won't. I'll just be like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm chill, read my book. Like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of going rapping in some studio or something like that. Because those are the things that kept me sane and kept me alive and kept me going when none of this was here for me. No interviews, no, you know what I'm saying? No studio invites, no show invites, none of that. None of that was at my disposal. And majority of the people weren't either. So I got to keep it real to the things that was there for me, and that's you know what I'm saying. That's everything that I would read: the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, Supreme Mathematics, go over my lessons,
Right,
regular
right.
books. You know what I'm saying? Books on Buddhism, all the things that I read, and those things kept me cool and kept me a mellow head. Let me and it allowed my mind to leave behind them walls.
You
So
know, it's so beautiful what you talking about, man. And once again, man, we have the pleasure of being joined with tonight, my brother Shyhiem, and we're talking about what it is to be not only a human in this planet, but actual uh, a black man on this planet and finding your values when the world is telling you on throughout 24 hours of your day, if you ain't sleeping, you're going to be told your value, and you're always told your value. But whenever you hear a man tell you their value, it's a different story. And we're listening to that right now. Like, you found your values,
yeah,
like you found what's the most valuable thing
yeah,
in
yeah,
your life.
yeah.
That shit is beautiful.
Because look, right, we put value on things, right? To you, right, these sunglasses right here, right, could be, uh, $500, right? I say to me, because this light is fucking with my eye, these shits is worth $1,000. I put
Right, right,
$1,000 value on this shit. Is what is value to me.
right,
So that's what I apply to everything in life. What's the value, man? What's that?
right.
I mean,
What I translate on what you're talking about in my mind is time.
yeah,
I tell people this all the time, like, we have 24 hours, or fight or war is what's going to rob us of the most valuable asset, which is our time. Social media construct is based on how can they get more time out of you. People, they spend their time trying to take time away from you. our time is so valuable, but yet that's the last thing we tend to look at sometimes when we're caught in this world. This world is full with go get that money, go get that bitch, go get that whip, go get that space. Meanwhile, none of those things, none of them will guarantee you any peace or return any of your time back.
No, no, no,
Why
no.
the fuck are those things so fucking valuable?
That's because you make it valuable.
Right.
You mean, yeah,
Right.
you know what I mean? Me, I just happen to find what I enjoy the most. And I put a no limit price tag on that. For my piece,
Well, no. Some kids just got off the bus right now and they just showed up, man. They don't even know what we talking about. Can you say that one more motherfucking time, bro? For the people, them?
yeah, I'm just saying pretty much that, you know, I put a no limit price tag on my piece.
Yes.
And
Let's go.
and I would never let anything disturb that. I mean, I'm
Yes.
so bad with it, and I'm so bad with it because I've known that this thing is real, right? To the point of two things I'm gonna build on real quick, right? You know, you'll get a phone call and somebody will be complaining about what they're going through, right? And you're listening to this, right? And whether you believe it or not, it's that energy gonna come towards you. And next thing you know, you're gonna be going through some trials and tribulations. Not saying so, not to be even rude. I just be like, I got let me hit you back. More, I don't even want to entertain that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to let those type of things come in my mind.
Right, but well, you're bringing up yet another good point in that not everybody's built to receive the world to be the listener. You're describing a great point, which is we're not all here to be listeners, just as we're not all here to be the voice.
Yeah, no,
There are people out here that can listen without feeling that way about it, and just as much as there's people that are the voice, but their job, you know, I hear this all the time with kids. You have one job to do, and that shit is difficult to comprehend, but I dig it because we don't like to make things simple as that, right? We like to think it's more. I had to do this. I had to do this. I had to do this. But what if the world was built on you just had one job to do, and maybe that job isn't to listen? That shouldn't be shamed. That shouldn't be made to feel like you suck because you couldn't do the very thing that you could do as a person. Like when you have a voice.
no,
That voice.
I don't think you understand where I was going at with that. I don't like if somebody is if a friend is in need and need to hear, you know, need me to hear them out, that I will hear them out. What I'm saying is that it's bad energy. And if someone is going through bad energy and got bad energy with them and they're calling you and they're bringing their problems, dumping
right. No, I get all of that. I get all of that.
There's shit in your bag. If you allow people to dump shit in your bag, next thing you know, you're carrying, dragging around your problems and everybody else's shit.
Right.
I'm just saying that don't you know, I don't allow that.
There's a thin line, and to your point, that line is a moving goalpost when it comes to what you come to do on this planet. What I come to do on this planet may differ from yours, may differ from the dude from California, may differ from the dude from Egypt, whatever. Like everyone has a limit that is different from each other, and that's what makes us human. We're not the same. We're not all built the same simply because some things are not meant for us to hear, to your point, and I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying, like, there's a lot of people that all they do is base their entire life on being victim, and they want you to feel like you're a victim. There's two kinds of worlds in this world. There's people that work for people. There's people that are entrepreneurs. They create jobs. They may spend their entire lives with hell amount of failure, but it's the one time they got it right. We all benefit from the light being, you know, figured out one time. The one time it was right, we all benefited from that. But we don't understand how many times they failed on building electricity and the light, you know, or the phone or the cell technology. We're all trying to figure all these things out and comparing one another to each other. And that shit is bullshit because, once again, you know, everybody thinks that being a creative is easy, and it's not. It's probably one of the most hardest things for people, not because the craft is hard, but because they got what they got to put up with or what they got to deal with by being a creative. It's very isolating. People don't get you.
Yeah.
Why you need peace now? You didn't have peace like when you was at the party or at the club. They look at all these other things and comparing themselves to you, when in actuality, look, dude, like a creative is very complicated person. And to your point, part of what makes your creative process work is the things that work for you. And it may not work for other artists. It may not work for everyone else.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And, you know, let's talk about that creative process. What goes into all things Shyhiem when he's trying to build a record that the world winds up listening to and gets a glimpse of your purpose on this work?
Well, it used to be about some fucked up shit, you know what I mean? Like that happened in my life, or some struggle or some pain, you know what I mean? You know, and you know, believe it or not, you know, your words create your life. So, you know, when you rap about certain things, you can will those things right into your life. So nowadays I'm very, very, very careful of what I say out my mouth, whether it's with music or it's just in a conversation. I take those seconds to think before I speak, because once it's out in the universe, it has to have a response.
Right.
You know,
That's so dope. We are here with Shyhiem. He's dropping knowledge on the city, man. He's letting you know his process on how he constructs the ability to speak to everybody on the planet when he does what he does. Talk about your inspirations when it comes to music. As an MC, a lot of people have different ways of getting to where they're trying to go, right? Like some MCs, they have this specific person they're going to work with, and that's it. For other MCs, they don't care where it comes from as long as it describes what they're doing. Talk about what's your process. How do you get inspired when someone sends you music?
when someone sends me music to work on, uh, first I listen to the beat. You know, if I'm not there with the producer when he creates it, I just listen to the beat and just try to feel where he was coming from. You know what I'm saying? If he was coming from a happy standpoint, or you know what I'm saying, or a sad one, or just a melodic or hardcore, I just try to feel the beat out and just see what it says to me. And then at that point, I just speak my mind, what's on my mind at that particular moment.
What is the vibration that you're currently living in, meaning metaphorically the environment? Where are you at right now when you're listening to music, as we all are? Some of it does represent this exact moment in time. For a lot of us, some of it is ignorant of it. What are you seeing, or what are you feeling from this thing of ours called hip hop? And what's your environment like right now?
Well, my environment is about growth. You know, I feel I have a responsibility to uphold, you know what I mean? And I have a duty, and you know what I'm saying, and that's to civilize all the families on the planet Earth. So I'm just using my voice and my mind to just let the people come into my world and see how I see things. Is It's not right. It may not be right. It might not be for everyone, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But we got to get it together. We need more love and more unity. You know,
Well, let's talk. Let's explore that shit because that shit ain't talked about enough. I'm greedy. Like when it comes to love, I'm like Golden Corral, bro. Just serve it all up, bro. Just put it in all them damn pans. Just put it all across
yeah.
the entire buffet. But that's me. You tell us why we need more love and more empathy from your point of view.
Because love is the answer. Love is the answer. Everybody wants to feel good. There's not even the most evil, even the most person that's angry. Angry is probably angry because he doesn't feel love. So sometimes, man, even if it's a good morning in the morning to somebody, or you're walking by or something like that, or just doing a good deed. You don't know you in line and you before the person before you, man, and you getting your coffee. Buy the guy behind you a coffee, man. Have a good day. You know, just try to make people happy because you want to be happy. If you want friends, you have to be a friend. You know what I mean? If you want someone loyal in your life, you have to be loyal. That's how it works. It doesn't work no way. That no other way. I mean, you may get over a little bit, you know what I'm saying, but eventually that same shit gonna come right back around and for you, you know what I mean? So my advice is, just love people how you want to be loved. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to be punched in their face? So don't punch nobody in your face because you don't want to be punched in your face now. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
Now you just brought up like some damn near some Legos. Like you just like poured like a whole box of Legos on the floor. And we finna step right now. When you saying treat people how they want to be treated, I'm asking you, what does that treatment look like in what you're seeing right now in the world? Because to your point, the idea of treating people how they want to be treated is being debated. For a lot of people, like you were talking about earlier with values, people don't value themselves like that, right? Like people are looking at themselves like they don't give a fuck if they punched. Punch me, goddammit.
yeah.
And there's so many people. I mean, just like you were saying, like if you don't want to be punched, then don't punch nobody. But there's a lot of people asking to be punched because of their upbringing and their exposure or they're dealing
But
with trauma.
but again, that's hurt. That's hurt. Now, if they gotta feed that hurt with love and be full of love, man. I don't even have honestly, I don't even look at things for problems. I don't even have problems because when something comes, I just look for the solution, and I don't take it personal.
Right,
I use my brain over my heart in the
right.
situation. So I'm able just to put it there and look at it from different perspective and find a solution. Most of the time, people are just sitting there harping and dwelling over spilt milk. If you spill milk, go pour another glass. It's just that simple. Don't sit there complaining about the milk on the floor. You just get another glass.
I love what you're saying because you're exposing pretty much a poison that exists in our normal and regular lives, right? Like the idea of what grudges are. Like
Well,
people could hold grudges for things that not only are no longer happening, but just for the sake of them feeling like, okay, well, boom, you know, this makes sense to me. Pain makes sense to
well,
me. I work better with pain.
well, well, well,
Um,
well. It's like this, right? Too, right? That What I was gonna say. Oh damn! I think I lost my train of thought. I'm trying
We
to think.
talking about grudges, my brother.
About the
Grudges.
grudges, right? Most of the time, people don't even know you. Don't, people don't even know that they offended you. You know, because it's the things we tell ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You go in the store and do brush by you. You tell yourself, "Who this nigga think I am?" Such and such. He never even
Right. He didn't even know it. Right. He was
say nothing
ignorant to
like
it.
that, right? But it's the things we tell ourselves that make us. So a lot of the times it's about like saying like, yo, brother, pardon me, yo, I don't like when you do that. It makes me feel this way, right? I guarantee you somebody's gonna go, oh well, I didn't even know that made you feel that way. I wasn't doing that intentionally to play you or doing anything, and you can move on. But it's the things we tell ourselves, man, that sometimes get us in a lot of the stuff too. You know what I mean?
Right. No, you're absolutely fucking right. And I love what you're talking about, man, because I think that's where all the money is. I've been doing a show which I had no even idea that this show would be even in existence. But I've been doing a show for like 3.5 months, 4 months now. And for a lot of people that I've talked to over this time span, for a lot of people, they are dealing with the idea of why are we not talking? You were talking about the idea of books. Books are so important to a person's life, not everyone's life, but to certain people's life. Why? Because that is a form of communication. We hear the words and stories that are so important from books so we can develop our understanding and not assumption.
Yeah.
We don't talk enough, meaning as a people, to even get to that space to where we can feel like, okay, I get it, like you were just describing. Maybe it was just a conversation, like, yo, dude, no disrespect, but I don't like that. It ain't nothing against you, but you shouldn't do that because maybe the person that next is down your line may not agree with that and may try some else shit. Right. So, like, we all are on this idea of kind of tiptoeing with our lives because we grew up during a time where it was mind your business, don't say shit, and we need to be more active when it comes to the art of conversating with one another, to get to know each other.
Yeah, I mean that's
So
that. I love it. I love meeting new people, man. You know what I'm saying? I love meeting new people. I mean, I talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, because you never know what someone could teach you, and it's like it sucks to go through a day and don't learn nothing. Like I always just ask you, like, what you learned today? What did you experience? It could be something so simple. I try to learn something new every day. Whether it's a new store or you can learn something. I don't care what it is, anything, and it doesn't matter how big it is or small. I try to learn.
right, man, and that shit does wonders when you allow other people to feel valuable in your space, and that increases your value.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, we grew up on these ideas of what living in America, the idea of, if I make him valuable, that devalues my space, that devalues my ideas or my dreams. Just like we
wow.
feel like if this nigga makes $1, that's $1 out of my pocket.
What's for you is for you. What's for me is for me.
Right, right.
You can't get that.
Right. And we should be more like that. And this is the time right now. Right now. This moment in time probably won't be seen ever again in our lifetimes the way it is right now, where everybody's listening, where everybody wants to hear what the next POV gotta say. Because we don't know who our tribe is anymore in that regard. Or maybe we do, but maybe we need to expand what that tribe is. We're all trying to figure all of these things out in real time, and it is best done when we're all talking to each other and not allowing the world or the powers that be to narrate our story. We
Yeah,
should be telling our story.
yeah, yeah. Good.
And that leads me into my next question. What is this new project? And give people the idea of, all the things that went into this new project you're working on. I've seen your Instagram. I've seen what you're doing right now, and that shit is needed right now. So talk about some of the things that are going into this new project, and the things that we can expect from you moving forward.
Well, isometric concepts is just pretty much in a nutshell, uh, a variety of ideas that I want to manifest. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I have music. I'm doing music. And I'm also doing visual content. Doing some artwork, paintings, clothing, just different concepts of ways to express myself in an articulate way. I also have a writing workshop that me and Ghostface is for this summer gonna be. We'll start soon to accepting applications to join the course where we will be doing vocabulary, word
Dope.
exercising, and rhyme writing, and storytelling, and hip hop history. That's my partner on that isometric concepts writing course. Coming to this summer, June. Matter of fact, it's coming up quick because it's already we in April, and sort of the curriculum first semester will be in June, and yeah, and that's just about it, man. You can follow me on Instagram, Shyhiem_Rugged. Just stay tuned. Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure, man. It's dope. I'm gonna stay tuned, and your upcoming show, send me a link. So I might be caught up, but send me a link so I can. Oh, I'm gonna come check the guard and see how your show going.
Man,
But,
for real, man. I appreciate that, bro. I got a couple more questions before you dip.
yeah.
Um, just on your outlook on the state of hip hop right now in 2021, and how you were impacted through the COVID situation. Because I know what it was for Florida. We're one of the I think number two or number one capital of tourism in America. And I know how we were impacted. I knew there were a lot of bands, a lot of artists that, unlike a lot of the other people that were able to continue working, artists down here, had to figure out creative ways to continue to bring in income. Talk about how COVID impacted you, and what do you see moving forward for artists in
Um.
2021?
Well, for me personally, I was just coming out of prison when I walked and when COVID happened. I think, I had like 30, 60 days out. So for me, it was back to lockup. I was still, what I'm saying, in lockup. So that really didn't affect me as much. I've lost some people to COVID, you know what I mean? So it affected me that way, a few family members and a couple friends to COVID. So that affected me. As far as, like I said, I wasn't really doing music for the last 6 to 7 years because I was incarcerated. So me running around.
Where were you incarcerated at? Because
I mean, I've been incarcerated since I was all over New York State, um, from 2014 to 2020. So that's so it really didn't affect me per se too much on that aspect.
and that's great, but that's crazy because I know a lot of spots down here, including our own 33rd. When COVID dropped, a lot of people that were incarcerated were having to deal with that fucking COVID.
No.
It became a trap, if you will.
No. They was locked up. Locked up. I was out. I just got released from prison when COVID happened. So what I'm saying,
Okay, got you.
me
Right.
being confined to my house didn't really affect me much because I was used to being in a cell anyway. So it really didn't help me. I was just continuing doing what I've been doing, writing, work, working out, and different things like that. But no, I really didn't. I mean, as far as the city, it was weird walking through the city, nobody outside, and things like that, not being able to eat in restaurants. So it affected us all in that aspect. And as far as the other question about the state of hip hop, I think the kids are having fun with it. You know what I'm saying? They enjoy it. It's for them. You know what I mean? I think there's been some dope albums out recently for hip hop. Some dope MCs out there, and I'm looking forward to hearing the new stuff from
What
God.
did you feel about that Raekwon and Ghostface versus, man? What did you feel about that?
I loved it. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. That's the
Dope.
bros, man. I enjoyed it. I watched it like a little kid again. You know,
Talk your shit, man. Talk your shit,
you know what I'm
brother.
saying? They put me back in, what I'm saying? I wouldn't even say high school, put me back in those times, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Riding around the city, we MPV'd up, you know what I'm saying? Running through, I mean, I was a little nigga, you know what I'm saying? But I was running with the big boys. So, for me, it just took me back to being that person for a quick second. I enjoyed it, man. Wow.
That shit was dope, man. I don't understand how anybody could be like this or that. Shout out to Black Sheep. Like I don't see how those dudes
Like
are
what?
like tied to the hip.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I missed something, but I mean, there was something said about that or something.
Yeah. Like people were having to choose. Oh, if I'm gonna choose this, I'll choose that. Like
Well,
them dudes is tied to the hip.
I'll say this, right? If you have a coin, right? Whether you flip it and it lands on heads or tails, it's still the same quarter, right?
It's still a coin, brother. I love that, brother.
It's still Wu Tang. Either way.
Right. That shit was dope. We to celebrate, to be able to celebrate some of the best things in our lives. And shout out to Swiss and Timberland for creating a place in which not only are we celebrating the things that we grew up on, it just celebrates this thing of ours in general, man. And we need that, man. Just like, like we need more of it, because as the OGs of the generation, for a lot of us, we may have dropped the ball in some ways. We told them to go get money, but we didn't tell them the importance, as our OGs told us when we were coming up, the importance of history and what that meant, and to respect the elders, right?
But you got to take, you know what? We can't take all the blame for that, because crack cocaine came in the 90s.
That part.
So it swept us all away. But that's always by design, man. So don't beat yourself up too much over it. You know what I mean? Let's focus on solutions. Let's focus on working together, and let's focus on love, man. If we do the same, if we do all those things, you know what I mean? Love, peace, and happiness, then we can all live together as one.
Man, dude, you represent everything that I would even think to call hip hop, man. You've been doing your thing for years, and God willing, you will continue to do all of that, man. We're so honored to have you on this show. And anytime you're in Orlando, bro, look us up, man. We support you. We've been running with you from the beginning. Sound of Orlando, baby, bro.
Well, yo, check it. You already know. You got my math. You got my number and all that. Stay in touch, brother. Thank you. Shout out to Orlando. Everybody out there, thank you for support. Follow me on IG, Shyhiem_Rugged. Y'all, it's been great. Love.
Yo, give it up for the legendary Shyhiem Rugged. Let's go, my peoples. Yes. Man, you know what we do out here, man. We are talking to our people. Once again, anybody going through any rough times right now, anybody feeling like they're being abandoned or they're alone or they're going through any kind of trauma, please believe me, there are people that you can call. There are friends out there. Some of your best friends do not treat you like friends. Sometimes they are absent until the most needed point in your life. Reach out to somebody, man. Make a phone call. Sometimes maybe it's a look. Just, take your time and say, hey, man, I need you. We're all going through things right now, man. We have all been affected by this thing called 2020. We've all been affected by this thing called life. And we need more love and empathy out here. We need a better way to communicate to one another. You may lose it all, but you ain't going to lose no love. And there's plenty of love out here, man, if you are willing to reach out. Shout out to our sponsor of tonight, my man, Jesse Jazz, legendary promoter, legendary DJ, and legendary graphic design artist. If you need any kind of printing, any kind of graphic work, business cards, you name it, this man will give you answers. We love all of you guys. We're coming back with a late night episode with the with the elusive DJ Nasty, my brother. One of the first shows I ever performed with was with DJ Nasty and Smooth J Smooth. That is my brother, man. And this dude is a legend in this city. He continues to outdo himself. He's got a Grammy. And I can only say that I am proud that that's my brother. I spent a lot of time in Kansas City, Missouri. And my people was like, nah, man, you don't know no Khaled. You don't know no Nasty. And that's my brother. 14, 15, starting out rapping, doing shows. And I had the honor of starting out my hip-hop journey with my brother, DJ Nasty. We will be back on here at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., we with Jimmy Kimmel in it right now, man. So make sure you tune in. Tell your friends. DJ Nasties of Nasty Beat Makers, and we the best. 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. We ain't doing shit wrong up in here, man. We telling our truth. We telling our story. And we don't give a goddamn who don't believe it or not. That's what that is. Shout out to all my peoples that know what I'm talking about. We love y'all, man. Shout out to Remington. He said, what the fuck? Tell Nasty we have bedtime? Exactly, motherfucker. I told that nigga the same thing. Nah, man, but people like this, man, we gotta accommodate only because, like I said, man, that's my brother. That's one of the first people I ever performed with, and that's the beginning of my story. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Shout out to all y'all. We love y'all, man. Sound of Orlando show. See you back here in a few. Holla.
Live on stage. The sound.
Orlando.
So, is they ready?
Yes.
The sound.
Orlando.